Neo, I'm talking about Taz, obviously aptly coaching some of these squads. But the fact that we get together, right, the old 1.6 lineup, it's crazy, right? We've got the likes of Pasha, Cuban, Lord, Neo, and Taz still walking here in 2024. That's magical.
Yes, and some of them are more involved than others, right? We're always super happy to see Pasha back here. Cuban is going to be behind the boys as well. Neo just had a moment of success. Taz, unfortunately, the road stops for here. But for a country, for the entire country, this is where the history of Counter-Strike sort of starts. Like, it starts with the Golden Five, with these guys then in the Virtus Pro jersey, and then it's about patience to find new champions. These paved the way of Counter-Strike here in Spodek. They lifted trophies here in Spodek, and now maybe ENCE can be the next.
And talk about Diha being able to look upon of legends of his childhood, right? I talked to him on Media Day, and he said 10 years ago, he queued up at 5 a.m. outside this very arena to witness 3 of those men that he was looking at the stairs actually lift the trophy here. Like, it's magical to see the trajectory that Diha's on, no less, right?
Yeah, we saw Diha, how much it meant for him to just advance and qualify for the main playoffs, because, you know, that is the goal for a lot of these guys, to get on the stage and to go all the way to the end. But we also know that, you know, this is kind of unexpected for them. They're like, oh, we qualified for the playoffs. We qualified for just the quarterfinals. And it's like, we made it. And it's like, is that enough? If you feel like you've already made it now, like, what do you have left in the tank? And that's always going to be a question that lingers on here. What do we expect?
Yeah, that is certainly going to be the question. Hopefully, we can get some answers courtesy of Diha and Shox.
Diha, what a day for you. First up, ENCE. I need to get a clarification from you, because I asked you about playing versus Falcons, and you said snakes, but then you said, no, I didn't mean it that way, but then you tweeted it, so what's going on?
No, it was just for content. I love all of them, nothing bad.
I know you do. Listen, what an important and big day for you. I heard that 10 years ago at 5 a.m. you were queuing in the Spodek to try and get into Watch, and now you get to play here. What an achievement already.
I mean, 10 years ago I didn't know that I will play CS, so yeah, it's pretty crazy, I would say.
And now that you've had the opening ceremony, so you got to stand here already and you're setting up, what feelings are overcoming you knowing that you could make history here today?
It was amazing. I swear I was getting emotional, so it's amazing.
Snappy is, of course, on the other side, and I think specifically him being in IGL, you know what makes him mad. You know what makes him tick. So have you been able to share that, and will that help you today?
Yeah, I think there was some tricks, which I said to our new coach and also Lucas, so let's see if it's enough.
Yeah, let's see if it's enough indeed. Now, also, there was something else you wanted to say or announce?
Yeah, so as you know, guys, I'm playing in ENCE for the last 3 years, so I want to announce that I'm staying in ENCE for 2 more years, which means I signed a new contract.
Fantastic. Final question then. I've asked Glaive the same question, but it's incredible to see how ENCE kind of, you got thrown together and there was a lot of uncertainty, but it feels like you have bonded so much together. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, creating this roster wasn't easy. Also, our first like matches, it also wasn't easy, but I think the guys are doing much better than everyone expected, so yeah.
Good luck.
The crowd, understandably, very, very happy indeed to hear that news about Diha. But we've tackled the emotional angle, Matthew. Let's get technical for a second. What have we learned about ENCE throughout, you know, the play-ins and the group stage?
Oh my, then I guess I have to stop being romantic for a second and just use our brain a little bit. Yeah, we can get technical a little bit. ENCE, obviously a team that doesn't have the most experience out there, and it's something that kind of transpires when you look at T-side versus CT side. Their T-side, when Glaive can have the calls and they can have these strategies from the get-go, they are able to be very deadly, very vicious, very efficient. But on the CT side, and Glaive also spoke about it in Media Day, he said, I have to be able to trust my teammates. I have to let go a little bit of the control. I have to trust that they're going to have the right ideas, the right calls. It hasn't really come through too much. And now the question is, sink or swim, right? You're in the big stage. Is there a moment where you're going to dare to make these moves, make these rotations, have these calls, or you're going to sort of go back into your shell and disappear? This is what we're going to see what they're made of.
And on CT side is where the individual skill kind of shines. You don't get to have someone holding your hand every direction, every moment of the round. So you need to be able to make the right decision. So Glaive giving up, you know, he's historically known for being really micromanagement heavy just commanding everyone everywhere. So to give that up and allow his teammates to kind of make their own decisions, we saw an interview as well with Diha saying that after the big game, after that loss, he told his teammates, hey, like, you have to be able to take more risks here. And I think I saw that coming into some of these other matches because we saw a lot of risks, and we saw that get punished. That's why they have such a horrible CT side win rate. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
it's true. 5v4 is very complicated.
It's where it starts to, you know, fall apart. So when they start losing players, that's when they start to bleed out. So what they want to do is, you know, if they were able to take the break after the Maus game, and that's pretty much what they needed. They were playing all the way through play-ins, all the way through groups. They needed that break. Now if they have time to get a game plan going together, and they get to sit down and say, okay, what happens if this player loses a life here, or we lose control of this map point here? What are we going to do to get over that? And I think that's mainly what they need to fix if they want to be able to have a chance here.
Matthew, you touched upon the individuals. So, Josh, how do you frame the situation between Hades and Sunpaeus, not on the dramatic level, just when we're looking at the AWPers inside the server?
Yeah, so Hades was an AWPer that wasn't really doing too well. His form was pretty bad, especially on big games. He had not great impact. His rating was low, his impact was low, his kills per round were low. He was just not even on the server. But in this entire event, through the play-ins all the way through groups, he's been one of their best players, or if not their best player, and he's had such high impact. He's had kills with the AWP, he's been entering with it, he's been running around no-scoping people. He does not care right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if he carries that onto the playoff stage here, whereas Sunpaeus has had a really not great series. He's had 3 series where he had horrible rating, horrible kill per round, but going into the match against Na'Vi, he just put on, like, I don't know, he went into overdrive, he started playing really well. He is known for being a stage player. That's what Snappy said. Snappy said Hades not land player or stage player. That's why we replaced him. We got Sunpaeus. He is a stage player. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to kind of correct his form from the earlier stages of this tournament and see what we can see from, you know, his game against Na'Vi. He was just crushing them.
I mean, the quality of Sunpaeus, I feel like, is already known right now. We know what he's made of, and he's already made an impact in the scene. I think it is an angle, a filter through which we can watch this series, that the individual experience on stage and what they have delivered up until that point. And it's true, at that game, Falcons, they got ends covered. It is just a fact, outside from Boros, for whom we are still waiting to kind of discover what are you made of, how do you react in these moments. Snappy, Madden, Sunpaeus, Magist, not even need to mention his name. These are people who know exactly how it is to perform your best Counter-Strike at this very moment, and they're going to be equipped to deal with the hardships much better than ENCE. I think on the ENCE is going to be a bit more momentum-based, whereas Falcons individually have a stronger backbone to resist whatever's happening here.
And you talk about the back of that backbone as well, because there's Zonic standing behind them. So even if you get flustered in the moment, Josh, all you got to do, call, tack time out, and then Zonic's in your ear. You know, it's all calm.
And right now,
his playbook is finished right now. It's completely impossible, and even their way to the playoffs has been through hardships and through sweats and tears. To come back against Na'Vi, I don't think it's just a playbook base, it's just strongly mentally. You're talking about a team who, a few months ago, we didn't even know who was going to be in the lineup, and then, oh, this guy's coming, maybe he isn't. Then the crowd is just hyping the hell out of them, and then they end up with this, like, no, they're in the playoffs. How crazy is that?
The crowd are either very excited for the veto, or there's probably a Polish legend walking around.
That's what's happening.
But let's talk about the veto. We get Mirage picked from Falcons, Overpass from ENCE. Did you expect this?
Yeah, so what is interesting here is that you have a floating of Inferno that comes into play, which means people can ban maps they would definitely not want to play. It's kind of psych, you're never...
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, PC Error Fix during your Twitch screen extensions. Solution 4, enable TLS. Solution 5, check internet, don't forget to hide when another video lands. Solution 1, refresh the page. The first step is the simplest, try refreshing the Twitch page.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Sleep Flames.
Today we're gonna fix the black screen issue on your OBS, so buckle up and get ready to slide that OBS black screen like a dragon. First, make sure OBS is closed and you wanna search for graphics settings.